Alright, so let's talk about WrestleMania 37 Night 1. And unfortunately, the show got a little bit delayed because of rain. It was about 25 to 30 minutes before it got started. We had, what's her name, Bibi Rexha start off with the national anthem. And my God, the cleavage on that woman. I mean, I used to gawk at Charlie Caruso's cleavage, but that blows this out of the water, man. Good Lord, man. Woo-hoo. It's hot in here, let me tell you. But, yeah, so we'll get underway with the card, and I'll stop gawking at the boobies. But, yeah, so we started off with the WWE Championship match, and this was a pretty good match. Although I did come up with a weird scenario for this, like, because there was a rain delay and everything, and I'm like, what if Bobby Lashley comes out to do his lightning thing, and there's too much water, he gets electrocuted, and then if this man has to come out and go, oh, I gotta back up, brings out Brock Lesnar, but then his pyro goes off and it blows him up, he gets exploded, so Mr. Man has to do it himself. Fine, I'll do it, and he's power walking his way to the ring, and then all of a sudden, this man has a heart attack. Drew McIntyre's like, come on, I need an opponent. I want the WWE Championship. Shane McMahon comes dancing out, slips, falls, knocks himself unconscious. So Drew McIntyre says, screw it, I'll face myself, and hits himself in the head like it's a claymore, pins himself, 1, 2, 3. That's just a scenario I came up with. But, this was a pretty good back and forth kind of match. MVP, see, I like it when you have managers just stand there, like MVP did tonight, like Paul Heyman does. They just stand there. They don't get involved. They just stand there. I think MVP tried like once or twice to get involved, but it wasn't that much. But surprisingly though, Bobby Lashley retained. There was, a bunch of attempts to do claymores, but he never connected with one. And Bobby Lashley got him in the hurt lock, and he passed out. So, yeah, Bobby Lashley's still WWE Champion, which is a good thing. I don't think they should have taken it off of Bobby yet. Took him 15 years to win a WWE Championship. I think they should keep it on him for a while, so that was good. Next, we had the Women's Tag Team Turmoil match for number one contender tomorrow night on night 2. Tonight, whenever you're watching this, whatever. And you had Naomi and Lana, Ruby Riott, or the Riott Squad, Billie Kay and Carmella, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, and Tamina and Natalya. And Tamina and Natalya ended up winning, so I wanted to win. They should have got the title shot because they're the ones that pinned the champions, but, they decided to put the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match on SmackDown instead of the actual card, so they had to fill in with this. It should have been the other way around, but what are you gonna do? It's a pretty good match. Next, we had Cesaro versus Seth Rollins, and this was a good match too, man. Good back and forth. These are both great wrestlers. There's even a point I thought Seth was gonna win this, but Cesaro was swinging around like a million times. He hit the neutralizer, and 1, 2, 3. Cesaro wins his quote-unquote first ever singles match at WrestleMania, even though he faced Kamakuku last year. Psst. Yes. Very good match. Then we have AJ Styles and Omos challenging the New Day for the Raw Tag Team Championships, and you had Big E come out with them to do the Tampa! It's kind of cool to see them back together. The New Day were wearing Tampa Bay colors, which is a little disappointing. I understand why they did it, but I was looking forward to the Mortal Kombat, but what are you going to do? And this was a decent match. It was mostly AJ Styles finding out the New Day at first, and the New Day got in control, and then AJ tagged in Omos, and then Omos was in control, and then all Omos had to do was just put his foot on Xavier Woods. 1, 2, 3. It was over. New tag team champions. There was this cool moment, though, where AJ jumped off the top of Omos' shoulders and delivered a phenomenal forearm to one of the New Day, which is pretty cool. Next, we had Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon, and it was the first loss that I got. And since I was undefeated, I had 4 matches under my belt that I won until this match, because I picked Shane McMahon. But there was moments in this match where it looked like Shane McMahon was going to win because he had help from Elias, but didn't do anything. And then Shane McMahon had it. He climbed over the top. He was going to win. He just had to put his hand through the cage and laugh and point at Braun Strowman. Strowman grabbed the arm. He broke open the cage piece, pulled him back through, which this should have been when Riker and Elias came in to help, but they didn't. They just disappeared. And Braun Strowman did this choke slam from the top of the cage, and then a running power slam to win. Braun Strowman is the winner. I guess it's the right winner, but I don't know. I think this should have played off the stupid thing a little bit more than this, but yeah. Braun Strowman is like, this is for all the people who've been called stupid. I was like, oh, here's all the fucking idiots out there. I don't know. It's kind of funny, but it's not funny. It's funny. So we had Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus John Morrison and The Miz in a tag team match that, surprisingly, Bad Bunny was in a lot of it. But it started off with all these bunnies coming out, and I noticed that, like, some of them had only one bunny ear because they were falling off. And after I realized it was Miz and Morrison, it kind of made sense, but, like, really surprised at Miz and Morrison. They came out lip syncing to their song, Hey Hey Hop Hop, whatever, and it was obvious lip syncing. I don't know if they did it on purpose, but if they were gonna have the illusion they were actually singing it, raise the volume a little bit, man. Raise it up. Otherwise, it's very obvious. It was worse than a Britney Spears concert. Yeah, and then Damian Priest came out, and then Bad Bunny came out on a big rig, 18-wheeler, for his little entrance. And yeah, like I said, Bad Bunny was in a lot of this. He was really good. Went against The Miz most of the time. Morrison came in with this goofy-ass hairdo. But yeah, it was a lot of Bad Bunny. It wasn't until towards the end that Damian Priest got in and was able... There was a moment where they both hit a Falcon Arrow, and then they kicked out, which... You think that should have been the moment that they won, but it didn't. I believe he hit him with the Reckoning. I don't know what the hell they're calling it, but it's the Reckoning, you know. But, yeah, and Bad Bunny and Damian Priest won. So, there was a spot that Pulse kind of called. I was watching his live stream. He kind of called it earlier. Kept telling Bunny to do the Canadian Destroyer. And so he got to the outside and he did a Canadian Destroyer on, I think, The Miz or Morrison, one of the two. Had to be one of the two. And he was like, oh, he did it. And Big Up was like, he did the thing. But yeah, that was kind of cool. Then we have our main event of the evening. Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And Sasha Banks came out, looked like the Incredible Hulk splooged all over her head. But she had the blue, but she had the green stuff on it, and it just looked weird. And this was a very competitive match, going back and forth. There were times that you thought Sasha was going to retain. She had her in a bank statement, and Bianca was able to roll into the ropes. There was the parts where Bianca did this sick kind of flip thing, and she kicked out. She went for the KOD. Bianca got out of it, tried to go for the backstabber, but Bianca got her back up, hit her with the KOD. 1, 2, 3. Bianca Belair is the new SmackDown Women's Champion. And I thought there was rumors amongst this that Becky Lynch was going to show up on night 1, and I thought this could be the only moment that she does. But she didn't. I thought, is she going to come out and challenge Bianca and win it? No, she didn't. Which is pretty cool. We also, at one point, got a little bit of tease for WWE 2K22, which looks alright, but I'm afraid that the footage they showed us is just of the next gen, and the current gen, or the Xbox One and PS4 gen, are just gonna look like the last game. Who knows? But yeah, Bianca Belair retains, or wins, I should say. I had wins in my head, but said retains for some reason. But wins, and she's the new Women's Champion. Overall, this was a good night. The rain delay was kind of bullshit, but it was a good night. At some point, Jerry Lawler was ringside, I think, for the tag team championship match, and then Booker T was at ringside during the Bad Bunny match, which Booker T, which was kind of cool. But Booker T didn't really do anything other than distract the Miz for a second. Didn't really lead to anything. But yeah, the funniest thing about this though was seeing Michael Cole and the commentary team in ponchos at the beginning of this. It was like Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, Samoa Joe. They're all wearing ponchos. Michael Cole was like an old woman and wearing that. It's kind of funny, but yeah, it was nice to see the fans. They did 1, 2, 3 Claymore thing. There was chants and stuff. It was kind of cool to know that it wasn't just fake, But yeah, this is pretty good. Can't wait for tomorrow. So, my final score is I got 6 right altogether. So I only missed one match, and that was Shane McMahon. Had I picked Braun Strowman instead of being an idiot, I probably would have gotten all of them right. But as it stands, I got 1 wrong. Which is not bad for a score, you know what I mean? So what are your thoughts on WrestleMania 37 Night 1? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.